So it's good to be here today. I'm glad to be here talking to you guys. So I just want to go through the people that are here because I like seeing designers. I want to see if there are any familiar faces here. There are a lot of familiar faces and familiar names. All right, my name is Tola Alabi, and I'm a graphic designer. I like to introduce myself as a graphic designer because I believe at my very element, at my very core, that's who I am. I might do a lot of things, but that's one of the things I love to do the most. I'm a graphic designer and I specialize in identity design, which is what we normally call logo design. I've been running a company called Tola Alabi Design for about 16 years now, and it has been a very interesting journey. I enjoy talking to designers. I enjoy answering a lot of design business related questions, and some people might ask me how come I'm able to answer a lot of questions when it comes to design. And that's basically because I tell people that bother to ask me why I'm able to answer a lot of these questions is because I believe I'm one of the designers that has made some of the most mistakes in Nigeria. So I've learned a lot from making mistakes, and I'm able to help designers not to make the same mistakes I made earlier on, because when I started out, there were few people doing design that I could actually look up to as mentors. There were very few people I could look up to as mentors, if any. I don't think I had anyone I could look up to as a mentor that was in Nigeria with me. So I had to learn a lot by doing and making mistakes. And so when I make video for my YouTube channel called Pro Masterclass, I talk about the mistakes. Everything is influenced by mistakes I've made with clients, mistakes I've made with pricing, mistakes I've made with my portfolio. So everything was like trial and error. And the reason why I enjoy talking to designers is because I have the opportunity to teach them not to make the same mistakes, so that they don't have to go the long route before being successful as designers. Now, the topic for today is how to sell yourself as a creative. There is a writer to it there that is saying logo presentation and logo creation and stuff like that, but I'm not really going to focus on that because that is abundant. If you want to learn how to do a logo, it's abundant. There are so many YouTube channels out there that teach you how to create or present a logo. As a matter of fact, I have a class on my Pro Masterclass, one of my videos in my Pro Masterclass that really addresses how to present your logo for a client's approval. So you can check it on my YouTube channel. So I'm not going to focus on that because there's so much information out there. You can learn that everywhere. What I am going to focus on is how to sell yourself as a creative, because you don't have a lot of information out there about selling yourself as a creative. So I'm going to focus a lot on that. And the reason why I'm focusing on that is, as I said, there isn't a lot of information about that out there. You might find someone in the US talking about how to sell yourself. You might find another person in the UK that has done a video about how to sell yourself as a creative. But it's because selling yourself is more of economics. It's more of an economic thing. Economics has to do with your economy, and economy has to do with a particular people in a particular place. No one can really tell you how to sell yourself in Nigeria if the person is not in Nigeria. As a matter of fact, it's so detailed to the point whereby I cannot really tell you how to sell yourself if I'm here in Abuja and you're there in Lagos. I can come very close. I can come closer than someone that is in the US. I can relate to your circumstance. But the truth is, every place is different. So it's better you hear from me than hear from some other guy in Australia or some guy in India or stuff like that. And we don't have a lot of Nigerian designers talking and teaching people about how to sell themselves as creators. It's a good opportunity you have on this platform right now. In my discussion for today, I'm going to be talking about investment a lot. And you might ask, why am I talking about investment? Because I realized that there's a critical problem with Nigerian designers. There is a cancer, I see it as a cancer among Nigerian design community. It is a very, very terrible cancer. It is it's not a benign cancer, it's a malignant cancer. When I mean like malignant, it's the one that can lead to death. That is the one that we have in the creative industry, and that cancer is greed. It's called greed. And you might ask, why do I think Nigerian creatives suffer from greed? And how does this relate to what we're going to talk about today? I will bring everything together for you eventually. But greed, in simple terms, just means asking for more than you are willing to give. That's greed. When you want more than you are willing to invest, that's greed. And a lot of designers suffer from greed, because I have designers contact me every single day, and I get a plethora of questions. One of the most popular questions that I get is, how can I get bigger clients? How can I get paid more? How can I increase my rates? You understand? I'm not making enough money. A lot of it is bigger clients, increase my rates, more money. And I get to ask a lot of designers, how much have you put into your skill? How much have you invested in your business as a design person? Do you have zero investment and you are expecting to be earning six figures? It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. That's the truth. And until we get rid of that greed mentality of, I want to get more but invest very little, you will not move anywhere. It's just the basic truth. There are two types of designers I meet. Two types. Those that are fed up of where they are in terms of their ability to work, or their skill, their technical skills, or they are fed up of where they are in terms of not making money. They are so fed up that they are willing to invest in something that will turn around their creative story. And there are those that are not fed up enough, but are still looking for free stuff. And free stuff is one of the biggest cancers we have in the creative industry. So I'm going to talk a little about investment. I think every single point I'm going to make is going to zero back on investment. And if you are not ready to invest in design as a career, then to be honest, you won't get anything from what I'm going to say today. That's just the truth. Because I really want us to talk about it seriously. If you are talking about selling yourself, then you must have put in something for you to be attractive to people, for people to buy into you. Nothing happened. There's nobody that puts zero investment in terms of time, in terms of money, that gets something out of it. My 16 years, I've met some designers that always contact me, bigger clients, and I always tell them, invest, and they don't. And 10 years down the line, the same guy is still asking me, how do I get bigger clients? And I've met people that have invested, and I've given them advice, invest in this, do this, get books, learn this, do that, and they do it. And 6 months down the line, they're telling me, thank you, sir. I really appreciate what you told me to get, and this is working for me. So that really is the story. How to sell yourself as a creative. Now, that's a very funny question, because when you're thinking of selling yourself as a creative, you have to know who you're selling yourself to. So when I saw this topic, I was thinking, what are we talking about? Because there are two kinds of people you can sell yourself to as a creative. You can sell yourself to the creative employer, and that's people that are interested in being hired as graphic designers, collecting salary in a creative agency. Then, we have those people that want to work with inside communications, want to work with, what's the name of this other advertising agency, TWA, or what they call it. You have designers that want to work, you understand, how to sell yourself to the creative employer. that wants to hire you as a graphic designer. Now, I can't tell you about that because I have only spent 1 year out of my 16 years working as a graphic designer for somebody. So I am not an expert in that. I can't tell you how to sell yourself to someone that wants to hire you as a designer. I can't tell you how to put together your portfolio as a graphic designer. However, I can tell you how to do the second one, how to sell yourself to clients. Now, that's what I've been doing. That's what the business of design is about. When you are thinking of how do I sell my skills to someone who is not looking to employ full-time, but wants to employ me as someone to work on their project. It might be their logo project, it might be their web project, it might be their UI UX project, it might be any project whatsoever. So I'm an expert in that. I can tell you that because I've been doing that for 16 years. So I can tell you how to sell yourself to those people. So let's just call this session how to sell yourself as a creative to clients. So you know that. So how to sell yourself as a creative to clients, that's very important. How to sell yourself to clients. Now that's what I'm going to be talking about, how to sell yourself to clients. Now, if you want to know how to sell yourself to clients, you must spend time knowing what clients want. Very important. If you want to sell yourself to clients, you must know what clients want. And that's the first mistake designers make. They think they know what clients want without actually studying or sitting down to study what clients want. I don't know if you've ever watched a movie called, it's an old movie by Mel Gibson, What Women Want. I don't know if anybody here has ever watched that movie. It's a good movie. It's an old movie, but it's a good movie. Now, in this movie, there is this guy, Mel Gibson, who is like a chauvinist. You understand? He's alpha male type kind of guy, and very good looking, attractive. He sees himself as very attractive. Yeah, it's a good movie, that too. Yeah, he sees himself as very attractive. You know, he's a man's man. You understand? And he thinks all women really like him. Till I don't know what happened to him, but something happened, and he's now able to hear the thoughts of women, and he now realized how much women see him as a jerk. They see him as almost revolting. They see him as, overpowering, and he realized that he really did not know what women really want in the first place, and was listening to their mind, and he was thinking women want men that are brash, men that like to talk about sports, men, that can't connect to their sensitive side. But when he got to listen to their mind, he realized that women really want a sensitive man that can connect with his emotions and stuff like that. And that's exactly how it is with designers. We don't take time to find out what the client wants, and then we try to market what we think the client wants or what clients look out for. And that's where we get it wrong. That is what eventually leads to a designer saying, I've been working for 10 years now, and I only get 2 clients every 3 months. That's what it leads to. It just shows that you've not spent a lot of time studying what clients want. Now, I was fortunate. When I started designing, one of the first things I did was I spent time with a lot of non-designers, and I spent time interacting with them and talking and asking them, what's your experience with this designer? I talk with people a lot, and I like asking questions. Now, from my experience, I realized that clients want 3 things. There are 3 things you need to do as a designer. 3 things, just 3 things you need to do as a designer that would help you get clients, that will help you sell yourself effectively. There are 3 things, 3 questions that clients ask themselves. If you can check those 3 boxes, clients will be working with you constantly, and they would not argue with you too much about your work and about your price. Now, what are those 3 things? I mentioned those 3 things. I mentioned 2 of those 3 things right now. One of the questions the clients ask themselves before they think of you as either a good creative or a bad creative is, how good is your work? How good is your portfolio? I want to use the word portfolio so that you can remember, because there are three P's that clients think of. So first thing they ask is, how good is your portfolio? That's what clients want to know. That's the first thing. If they want to hire you as a designer to work on their project, how good is your portfolio? So how good is your work? The second thing clients want to know is, how good is your price? They want to know how good your price is. So how good is your price? The third thing the clients want to know is, how good is your personality? Those are the three P's. How good is your portfolio? How good is your price? And how good is your personality? Those three things. Once you can check those boxes in the client's mind, good portfolio, good price, good personality, that client will work with you for years. They will work with you for years. In fact, you're the one that even after retiring, you tell the person, please, let me just find someone else for you. They'll just commit themselves. That is what makes a perfect creative in a client's mind. Your work must be good, your price must be good, and your personality must be good. So in this session, we're going to try to define what good work is, what good pricing is, and what a good personality for a creative to have is. And by the time we do that, hopefully you will get something very useful from it, and you will begin, like Mel Gibson, to be able to listen to the minds of clients, and you realize how much it will help your business. So the first thing, your portfolio, your work. How good is your work? Now, this is where designers think that's all clients want. You understand? It's just like how men think all women want is money. They say, what they want is money. Once you have money, okay. Anyone will like you. You have money. You understand? But it's not true. It's not true. You have people who are married to people that have money and they are still cheating. You understand? So it's not. Women do not just want money. Money is critical, but that's not it. And that's how a lot of clients think. A lot of designers think all the client wants is good work. Let me just show them I'm a bad guy with CorelDRAW. I'm a Photoshop guru. I'm an Illustrator god, and clients will be lining up at my door. It's not true. That's one of the mistakes I made in the beginning of my career. I spent so much time building my portfolio. But the truth is that your portfolio must be good. It is the starting point. It is actually the starting point. Your work must be good. Your portfolio must be good. A lot of you might know I run something called premium mentoring, where I mentor designers, especially identity designers, but graphic designers all together. I mentor them, and it's a paid mentoring course, and I take them through these three things. If you want to know what premium mentoring is, it's just these three things. That's all. If when people ask me what's premium mentoring, I'll say I teach you three things. I teach you the answer to the question: is your work good? Is your price good? Do you have good personality? 3. That's all I teach in premium mentoring. And it is not it's not for a specified period. So it's not like a 3-month, 2-month, 2-week thing. It's a lifelong thing. So the people I'm mentoring, they're my guys for life, you understand? So I teach them, it's ongoing, and they ask me questions, and I go back to, when you're looking at this project you're working, is the work good? Is the price good? Is your personality towards this person good? If everything is checked, the work goes seamlessly. So that's what I'm interested in teaching designers. And one of the first things when someone tells me they want to sign up for premium mentoring is I tell them, send me your portfolio. That's one of the first things I do. I say, let me see your portfolio. The reason why I ask for their portfolio is I want to know the first thing to start with. Is your work good? Because your work being good is the foundation of everything. Your work must be good. Your work must be good. If your work is not good, nothing else can happen. You understand? Nothing else. You cannot build on anything. So when I see somebody that says, I'm not getting clients, I'm not making money, and their work is not good, it's almost ridiculous to me, because that person is like someone that comes to meet you and says, you know what, I want to build a house. I bought all good building materials, the best tiles, best doors, best handles. I'm hiring the best architects, the best roofing materials, the best everything, best toilets, best fittings and everything. and you now ask them, do you have land? And parents say, oh, I don't have land. Everything is useless. Because where are you going to put all this best toilet, best this, best house, best front? You don't have land to build this. So your work is the land on which you build everything, and your work must be good. So the first thing is you must have somebody as a creative that can judge your work and look at it and say your work is good, or tell you, guy, your work is not good. And that's what a lot of us don't have. We don't have that. That's the place of a mentor. And that's one of the first things I do with my mentoring guys. I tell them, look, I've looked at your portfolio and I'm very honest. Because there's no need. When you tell someone, there's no need sugarcoating what is there. You just tell them, look, guy, your work is not good. Or your work is good. I like your work. Your work is really good. So I'm thinking the problem will be somewhere else. You understand? But the thing is that your work must be very good. And when I say good, I don't mean averagely good. Not in today's world. Maybe in year 2000, maybe your work could be good for Nigeria. You understand? But now, in the year 2020, your work must be good, full stop. Not good for Nigeria. Not good for Lagos. Not good for Aba. Not good for Kaduna. Must just be good, full stop. Because the client has so many options right now. I was talking with a client, regular guy. He just told me, look, I'm building my app. I'm building with some guys in one of these Asian countries. It wasn't India, but it sounds like India. Maybe Indonesia or something like that. So he's building with them. I've met so many people that say, you know what, I'm doing my packaging. I'm doing my packaging with some guys in LA. Clients, regular people like you and I are working with people in the US, in Canada, in the UK, just like that. Do you understand? So the options are open. So your work cannot just be good for Nigeria because the platform is everybody right now. The client has access to everybody. So your work must be good, full stop. Must be good, world standard. That's the problem a lot of designers have right now. Their work is good for where they are. Your work is good for you as the baddest guy in Ekiti. Your work is good for you as, the strongest designer in Benin. But is your work good when we look at it and compare it to somebody in England? It must be that good. So that's the land on which you start to build first. So your work must be good. So you must invest in learning how to be a good designer. Technically, you must invest. The good thing right now is that we have a lot of resources to learn how to be good designers. There are a lot of YouTube videos you can watch right now. But at the same time, there are a lot of academies right now. There are a lot of people teaching design and stuff like that. Gone are the days when you just had to learn design as a appreciation course in computer appreciation, where you just do 2 days of CorelDRAW and you become a designer. There are designers right now that are dedicated to teaching you design. And this is where I'm going to come to investing. I know designers. Like there is a designer I'm mentoring right now. He started something called the Mastermind Academy. He's an awesome designer. Awesome. He's an awesome designer. That's the truth. And I've recommended someone to him, someone that this woman was not even a designer, as in no design background. She just told me, Tola, I want to learn design. I said, look, I'm not good at teaching people how to use the technical tools. I can teach you how to structure your business, but I can't teach you how to use technical tools. I can look at your work and tell you what's bad about it, but how to now say this is what to click in Illustrator, what to click. I can't do that. I don't really have the patience for that. But I told her, go and work with this person. Work with J Creatives. He would teach you. And he taught this woman. And in less than a month, when I saw what the woman was doing, my mind was blown. And what I mean is that this woman is not even interested in being a designer, but she just wants to be able to create her own Instagram post and stuff to promote her programs. That's all, not to be doing design for people. But now she is good enough to even do design for people. That's how good she is, but she invested in that. Yeah, someone is saying Jay is good. Yeah, he's good. He's absolutely good. He's a good teacher. And so when people come to me and tell me, sir, I want to register for premium mentoring, I look at their work and I say, look, your work is not good. Go to J Creatives that is running the Mastermind Academy. Go to him. He will teach you. For some reason, you just think, oh man, Mr. Atola is trying to run something on me, or it doesn't mean well for me, and they don't go. You know, and I feel bad because I feel this is one hurdle you need to jump. There's no way you can be a good designer. There's no way you can sell yourself if your work is not good. It is the land. You understand? We all know that the land is not everything, because you can't say you have land and you'll be sleeping on the bare ground. So, but you must have the land to build the castle on. So when I tell them, look, go and do this, and that's why I said that way the greed comes in. You want to make money, but you don't want to learn. You don't want to invest in learning technical skills. You are coming to someone that is telling you your work is good, but at the same time, he's telling you go to this thing, and you are saying, oh no, it's not necessary. I'll learn it on YouTube. You know, you're just making your pace slower, and that's what I see with designers. You're not willing to invest in your skill, and that skill is your golden is your goose that lays the golden egg. You understand? The more you invest in it, the better. Look, a lot of people look at my work and tell me, oh sir, your work is good. Your work is good. You are doing you do really good logos. Your logos are really good. They are really simple. They are really this. I'll tell you why my work is good, but one of it is because I've really invested in my skill. I spent so much time investing in my skill. The other day, my daughter was looking at my shelf and said, Daddy, why do you have so many design books, so many design magazines? If you look at one day, I'll take a photo of everything and put it on Instagram. I spent so much money buying design books. And we all know design books are expensive. But once a client pays me, for any job, I put it in there and buying design. There was a design magazine I was buying consistently every single month. And it was very expensive because they were bringing it in from the UK. It was called Computer Arts. I don't know if they still make it, but they need to come with a CD there. I will buy it and look at this CD and look at what people are doing. And it just used to blow my mind. And I realized that if I wanted to do good work, I had to always be looking at good work. So for me to be looking at good work, there's no way I'll be looking at Nigerian work. And if I'm looking at NTA, then I'll be doing NTA type graphics. So I realized, okay, I can't go to the UK. So I must make myself buy UK material and just look at it. And I spent so much. I have, if not 200,000 Naira worth of that magazine in my house. I have it from, because they stopped producing it for a while. When they stopped, I stopped buying it. But I think they've gone back into producing, I'm not sure. But I have it I have like 2 or 3 years worth of it in my house. And a lot of time, my kids look at it. Some designers come to my house, I give them, they look at it because I'm investing in myself. So when you're seeing me doing good logos, it's not because I'm good. It's not because I was born good. It's because I invested in myself. So you must be able to invest in your portfolio. Your portfolio is very important. When I work and I spend time buying fonts, I see a lot of designers, they shy away from buying fonts. They're just downloading fonts from 101 fonts. When you download that font, just know that about 1,001 people too, in your not in Nigeria, in that your local government are downloading that font too. You understand? So when you use it and the client doesn't like it, kind of feels, I've seen this logo before. Why he feels he's seen that logo before? Because his neighbor's logo is looking like that. You understand? His cousin's logo is looking like that. So when you download a unique font, it costs some money. But when you download and use it for a client, because he has never seen it before, it looks unfamiliar, it looks unique. You don't need to work on the logo too much before the guy says, I like this work. I don't know why I like it, I just like it. The reason why he likes it is because it doesn't look common. And that's because you've invested in buying stuff. You understand? So you must invest in your portfolio. Very important. The second thing about your portfolio I'm going to say is that you must present yourself as a company, not a freelancer. Very important. You must present yourself as a company, not a freelancer. A lot of designers present themselves as freelancers. I hate that word. I absolutely hate that word, freelancer. I've never used it before for myself, and I don't like when people use it. So when I'm mentoring people, I tell my guys I'm mentoring, number one, drop that word freelancer. You're not a freelancer. Number one, it starts with free. If you're starting with free and you're meeting a client, you're starting you're not putting your best foot forward. You understand? So it kind of says, I see the word freelance as a very passive term. it seems like I don't have anything to do. So if you have work for me, I'm free. Do you understand? So it's very passive. Unlike saying you are a company. A company means, look, we are working, we've been working. If you have work, you better come on board right now because we are busy. But a freelancer doesn't communicate that. And that's how clients see freelancers. So I don't even believe there's any such thing as a freelancer. If you are doing design as a business and you are trading it for money, I don't care if you've registered your business as a limited with CAC or entered a business name. You see, those things didn't come before the company. They were companies before they were registration organizations. Those things, you see, it was because there were too many companies that there are people now said, no, let's have an organization that registers companies. So companies were there before there were organizations like CAC. So you're a company once you decide I want to use design or use my skill, whatever it is, and sell it and make profit. You're a company. A lot of people think, I present myself as a freelancer because I've not had the money to register my business. I don't have the money to it doesn't matter whether you're registered or not. That's secondary. What is most important is that you have that business idea in your head. Once that business idea comes to your head that you want to use, you are a business. Never call yourself a freelancer. There are no freelancers. You understand? Unless you are doing free work. You understand? You are a business. Think of yourself as a business. So put your portfolio together as a business. It's interesting when I ask people when they want to register for my mentoring course. I ask them, send me your portfolio. Some people send me something that looks like a CV. So many designers send me something that looks like a CV. It has their photo, their name, their state of origin, their strengths, the software they use. I said, okay. Number one, the first thing I asked them, do you want to work with a creative that wants to hire creatives, or do you want to run a business? A lot of them tell me, no, so I want to run a business. I'm like, then this is not your portfolio, this is a CV. Just send me a CV. So you're asking for work, you're looking for salary, you're not looking for clients. You understand? Send me a portfolio that looks like something from a business, something from a company. So what I expect to see is, number one, your business name, your logo. I don't care whether you're registered or not. It doesn't matter yet. Look, I had 2 companies before I started Tolalabit Design. When I first started, I started off as a company called Upper Room Studios. Upper Room Studios was never registered, but I did flyers, I did business cards, and I was using it as a business. I didn't register it. I didn't want to register it. Then I went to, I did a company called Clip Art Media after that. Never registered. I did flyers, did business card, did that, never registered. I didn't have money. When I had money, I registered Tolalabit Design. So you see, I've never been a freelancer because I realized the essence of projecting myself as a business. So don't worry if you do not have money to register. Put that on your list of priorities, but start out as a business. You understand? Start out as a business. Get that business name. Go to CAC site. It's free. Check if that business name is available. If it's not available, design the logo for it. When you have the money, go back and register it. Hopefully it's still available, but if it's unique enough, you'll realize that it's available anyway. You understand? So always project yourself as a business with your portfolio. So your portfolio is not meant to show your picture. It's not meant to say your name. You're not meant to say, my name is Chikodi or Musa this or stuff like that. I finished from so and so university. I have 3 years experience. No. When the client sees that, they just realize that this one is just a boy that wants to buy credit now. You understand that kind of thing? So you must look like a company. It's very important that you project yourself not as a freelancer, but as a company. The third thing is with your portfolio is you must project yourself as a specialist. I have a lot of designers ask me, should I specialize or should I generalize? I get that question a whole lot too. I always advise people, you can start out generalizing, but once you realize that you spent 1-2 years in just testing the field, choose the one you like the most and specialize in that. Let people know you for that. Very important. The truth is that clients are attracted to specialists. We are all attracted to specialists. All of us, we are all attracted to specialists because specialists are professionals. They exude trust. Just the fact they exude trust, number one, and they exude discipline. When someone tells me they are a specialist, it tells me, number one, I can trust this person when this person is doing this work for me. I can go to sleep. Number two, it tells me that person is a very disciplined person. It makes me that person can commit to doing this one thing for over a long period of time. Is a disciplined person. I can trust that person. Once someone says they're a generalist, it kind of makes me feel like, how much has this spent on that particular, how much time has he spent on that particular area that I want him to do? Do you understand? How much time does he devote to that? Number two, it just makes me feel like he might be quite a scattered person. So he might not give so much time to this one I'm giving him to do. So specialization breeds trust, and it positions you as a disciplined person. People like specialists. People love specialists. It makes them feel like if they are in safe hands. Now just imagine if you went to a hospital and you had a throat problem, and someone comes to you and tells you you need to do a surgery on your throat. First thing is fear. If you hear that word surgery at first, the first thing is fear. Because my wife is a doctor, so I know that first thing is fear. You feel like if I'm going to go under the knife, and I don't know if I'm going to make it. But one thing a doctor can say to calm you down is, you know what? I'm a specialist at this thing. I've done 50 operations for people on their throat before. This is just one. This is just another one. You'll see the amount of peace and trust you have. Well, imagine a doctor coming to tell you, you know what, I don't usually work on throat, but I normally work on ear and eye and toes. And don't worry, just trust me, they can't be too different. Do you understand what I'm saying? You don't have that level of trust because you're not a specialist. So specialization builds trust. It makes you know that this person has spent time doing a particular thing. So by all means, make your portfolio one that is geared towards the angle of design that you enjoy the most. So if it is logo design, let it be geared towards that. If it is layout design, by all means. I know a designer who does book covers. That's all he does, book covers. You know what? If somebody ever calls me to say Tola design a book cover, I wouldn't have to think of who to go to. I'm going straight to him. So my mind has put him in that area. I just feel like that guy, book cover. Anytime. And I can't tell you how many times, like just last week, someone called me and they told me there is a Nigerian movie that has been nominated for Oscars. We now have Nigerian movies putting their own entries for the Oscars, and the one that was selected for Nigeria. And they said this person doesn't have any flyers, any collateral, no posters for the movie, or what they have is not really good. And they called me and they said, do you know any designer? Immediately I thought of two people. I said, call this person or call that person. Why? I know over 200 designers. Why did I pick just these two people? Because when they show their portfolio, they show movie posters. They always show movie posters. They don't show logo, they don't show UI, UX, always movie poster. So when the time came for me to choose somebody, I chose those two guys. Now, the truth is that I know a lot of designers that will say, but sir, I can design movie poster too now. But what was I seeing? Maybe in 3 years, I've only seen you put one movie poster. Do you think I'll remember that? I wouldn't remember that because you've not shown yourself as a specialist in that area. So specialization helps people to remember you. So let your portfolio show specialization if you really want to sell yourself. The last thing I want to talk about when it comes to your portfolio is something that I realized a mistake designers make with their portfolio. And that is what work to show. Rex, okay, not Rex. Although I know Rex. I know Rex, but not so well. I think I've stumbled on his post on Instagram, but his work is really good. But because I don't follow him, I don't see it often. You understand? So, but Rex is really good too, and he has specialized in that area. So one thing I want to say about your portfolio, the last thing I'm going to say about your portfolio is showcase your most visible work. The mistake people make with their portfolio is that they showcase the work they like the most. So if you are showcasing work, maybe you're a website designer and you've worked for one company that is really popular, but you don't like the work. The work is not, man, it's not really, it doesn't really make you feel like an expert. Or you've worked for another company that nobody knows, and their web design is just awesome. Or logo design, you work for your uncle whose company is just a small company, nobody knows it, but the logo is like crazy. Then you work for another person whose logo is like everywhere. Maybe it's like you did a logo for a bakery that does one very popular bread around the area, but you just said, man, I don't really like it now for bread company, I don't want to put that out, and they hide that one and they put their uncle's one that nobody knows in their portfolio. That's a big mistake. Always put your most visible work out there first. Very important. Your most visible work, the one that people have seen everywhere, people can relate with, let that go out first. Because you know what clients want. Remember, we're talking about what clients really want. Don't be like Mel Gibson that you think you know what women want. Go into their mind. What they want is familiarity. They want someone that has worked with somebody before. They're not really looking for someone that is a really good designer. They just want someone that is really dependable. Someone that they can say, oh, he has worked with this person. Okay, so I can work with him. So the bigger the client, the more popular the work is. Now remember that popular, and this is where designers make a lot of mistakes. We get sentimental. Maybe we work for a client that didn't pay us, and they ran with our money, or we see the logo everywhere. I tell designers, calm down. You understand? Don't get annoyed. Calm down. He's paying you. He just doesn't know he's paying you. There was a designer that did a logo for a bank, and he said they paid him 20,000. He contacted me. He actually contacted me. He said, "Sir, I should advise him." They paid him 20,000 for that logo. Although this problem is quite complicated. And complicated is that I wouldn't say it's entirely the client's fault, because they asked him how much does he want, and we will get to that. Now he said that they paid him 20K. And now the bank is everywhere. And really, the bank is everywhere. I still saw the bank today itself as I went out. When they launched it, was on the front of the newspaper. And they said they paid him 20,000. And immediately he told me that, I told him, do you know what? The truth is, I don't believe you. I don't believe you are the one that did this logo. He said, I'm the one that did it, sir. I said, show me the files. And he showed me the Corel Draw files. He showed me where they were coming from, how they developed it. I saw it. I said, that's cool. He showed me the WhatsApp message between him and the third party that got the job. Everything, I saw it. So I didn't doubt him anymore, because when he spoke, I realized this guy is really talking the truth. And I saw the work, and he was really bitter about it. I said, look, there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do right now. People might tell, and that did I tell you, don't take content from America and come and apply it here. The American will tell you sue. If you sue in Nigeria, you're wasting your time. You can't even sue, sir. Can you afford a good lawyer compared to the bank? They will crush you. You understand? So you can't sue. You understand? So just calm down. I told him, but I've looked at your portfolio on Instagram. I've not seen this logo there. And he told me he's not putting it there because he's annoyed. I said, you are annoyed. You're annoyed at, number one, that they've not paid you, but you're also annoyed that you're not even putting it out there to say, look, I said, did you sign a contract with this guy saying you shouldn't put it out there? He said, no, nothing. But we're just going to put it because they didn't pay him. I said, then you're losing both ways, because he's paying you in terms of publicity. Put it out there. Put it in your portfolio. In fact, put it every single month that you're the one that did this thing. And he said, okay, no problem. And he was grudgingly put it there. And after a while, the job brought him other jobs. You understand? Because people around him kind of felt like they had that conversation. Are you sure you're the one that did this stuff? He said, yes, I'm the one. And said, okay, let's try this thing with you. Maybe he never got a client as big as that other one, but he would have gotten nothing at all if he chose not to showcase that work. So showcase your most visible work. Whether you like it or not, it doesn't matter. It's visible. People like familiarity. The client wants familiarity. So I realized that when I send my portfolio to people, what they always say is, oh, you did this thing for these guys? Oh, you did for this guy? This is my neighbor now, and I know these people. Or they tell me, oh, I use this soap, or I use this. Familiarity makes people feel comfortable. Then I say, okay, I think I can work with you. You understand? So it's important that you showcase your most visible work. Unless you don't have work that is visible, then you now have the luxury of showcasing your most beautiful work. You understand? Or the job you like the most, but showcase the most visible. There's a job I did for Dark Communications then, when they started DARSAT. It's not the best logo I've done, to be honest with you. I can't say I'm most proud of it. I'm going to put my top 100 logos. I don't think I'll put it on there, but it's right there in my portfolio. I think it's like page 2 in my portfolio. And when people see it, they always come and tell me, you know what? We don't have money like DARSAT to just manage what we have. So it's not about whether I like it or not. It's important. Do you understand? It's just like in football. When you have a striker that is a loony striker, you understand? His attitude is very bad, but he knows how to score goals. Maybe like Mario Boluwatife or anyone of those crazy strikers. As a coach, if you say this guy is disrespectful, I'll put him on the bench, it's you they will fire in the long run as the coach. You understand? So you must play that guy. I think Zlatan is still well behaved. There are some that are really crazy, but if you say you're not going to play them because of their attitude, in the end you need them to score those goals, or else you lose your job as a coach. So you need those kind of projects that are visible. If you have them, then they are cash cows. Put them in your portfolio. Clients want to see those kind of projects. Now, we are going to move on to pricing. Now, I spent a lot of time on portfolio because I believe the portfolio is very important. Because, as I said, it's the land on which you build every other thing. But we know that if you have land, doesn't mean you have somewhere to sleep. You understand? You need to build a house on it. And so we're going to get to that house you need to build right now, which is pricing. Pricing is absolutely important for every creative. And the thing about pricing is I talk with creatives every day, as I said. And one thing I realized is that pricing is more about the mind, your state of mind, than what you charge. So when I go through my mentoring session with designers, the second thing we talk about is pricing. It's very important. We try to fix their price. I'm very passionate about pricing because without pricing, you are not a business. You understand? It doesn't matter how good you are, how good your work is. If people are not paying you money, you are not a business. You are still a charity. So pricing is very, very important. And pricing is more about the state of the mind than it is about what you charge. And I can almost guess, I don't need to guess, I'm almost confident that 99.9% of people that are watching this thing right now have a problem with pricing. 99.9, if not 100%. And why am I so confident? Because it's a state of mind. It has to do with whether you have a mind of abundance or a mind of scarcity. And the truth is that I'm almost sure that a lot of people here have a mind of scarcity. It is not a curse. It's just true, because I had a mind of scarcity. Why am I so sure? Because the amount of wealthy people, the percentage of wealthy people in Nigeria is not up to 1% of the Nigerian population are wealthy. So the chances that someone is saying I'm one of them, success at, yeah, we will deal with that right now. So the chances that there's someone who is the son of a multi-millionaire on this platform is very low. It's very low. You understand? We are mostly from middle-class families or low-income families. It's just the truth. You understand? Because if the population of rich people in Nigeria is less than 1%, that means it's 0.something% of people that have no problem with money. It's less than 1%. And what are the chances that we have a son of one of them here on this group? It's very slim, because we are not up to how many on this group. So we all have a problem with pricing. I had a big problem with pricing because I'm coming from a middle-class family. And when you see middle class family in Nigeria, there are stages of middle class, you understand? But it affected my psyche. And that, when I say pricing is more about the mind than about the what you. Different people that have started business, one of the biggest problem is, what should I charge? What should I charge, sir? How much is the logo worth? A lot of people ask that question. How much is the logo worth? How much is a UI UX design worth? Am I charging enough? They have a client and say, sir, this is the brief from this client. What do you think I should charge? What I realized is that rich people's kids, I've never had a rich person's kid that has come to ask me, please, Tola, can you tell me how much to charge? I'm starting a design or a creative agency. How much should I charge? Or I'm starting a cake business. How much? They never ask how much to charge. They just have a price in their mind and they charge that price. Because a rich person's kid assumes that everybody has 1 million naira as spare change in their wallet somewhere. They just feel it. They just feel like 1 million naira. It's not much now. Everybody should have it now. So let me just start with more 1 million. So they have a mind of abundance because money was always available. A middle class stroke low income earning kid had to struggle for money. You had to convince your dad to give you 500 naira. You had to tell, what do you want to use 500? You had to give a speech and tell him. So your outlook on life is that you have to convince everybody to give you very small money. You understand? So that's the difference. That's why I say pricing is a mentality. And that's why I'm so passionate about pricing. Because I realize there are very, very, very middle class income earners to low income earners in Nigeria. And a lot of people have parents within that bracket. And that's why I try to teach a lot on pricing. Because I see a lot of talented, very talented people that lose out on pricing because of the mindset they have, the context from which they come with their homes, how they grew up, and it's hard to shake it. So pricing is very important. And this is where having a rate card is absolutely important. You must have a rate card. I've had the opportunity of interacting with a lot of people, but I had a friend who taught me about rate cards. And to be honest, he was very comfortable. His dad is very well to do and everything. So we became friends. And he taught me about rate card and it changed my life. It changed my business. He called me one day and he said, he called me one day and he said, Tola, I have a client for you and she wants to see your rate card. And I said, what's a rate card? He said, your rate card now? She wants to give you work now. And I said, but you know how much I charge now? Tell her. And he said, I can't tell her now. How can I just tell her with my mouth how much that? Send me your rate card. And I said, guy, I don't have a rate card. I don't know what a rate card is. And he sent me his rate card. And I structured my rate card after his rate card. And since that day, my approach to business has changed. How much I've been earning since that day has changed. And my confidence has changed. Just that rate card. And I tell people, if I want people to remember me for anything after I'm gone, I want them to remember, look, Mr. Tola taught us about rate card. I'm happy. It's more important than even people saying I did good logos. That rate card is so important. And you know what? I cannot talk full length about rate card here, but I'm going to come to investment here. I have a 1 hour course I've done on rate card. I've not put it out, but I'm going to use this platform to put it out for the first time. It's a 1 hour course on rate card. I'm going to tell you how to develop a rate card, how to develop a rate card, how to price, how to come up with your pricing, how to develop a rate card, what goes into a rate card, how that my friend taught me how to develop a rate card. I did it in a course. It's something I know I teach people that I mentor. However, I realized that a lot of people sometimes cannot afford my mentoring. So I did a course on it. It's a 1 hour course, 1 hour video that teaches how to come up with a rate card. And after this, you can contact me on WhatsApp. It's 5,000 naira for the course. You can contact me on WhatsApp. I would send you a sample of a rate card and send you a link to the video, and you can watch it. And I can authoritatively say it is the best pricing video for any creative that has been done. Seriously, I can authoritatively say that because I've watched a lot of pricing videos, and not a lot of Nigerian creatives have done videos on pricing. And remember, I've seen a lot of videos on pricing on the future. I've seen a lot on other things. But the thing is that it's almost like taking apple from the US and coming to plant it in Nigeria. One or two things will happen. Is either it won't grow, or it will grow and it won't look like apple. You understand? Because the US is different from Nigeria. So I'll tell you how to come up with your pricing, how to come up with your rate card, what goes into a rate card, and you get a lot of value from it. So, but however, if you still want to get a value, if you still want to get a sample of a rate card just to look at it, I can send it to you too on WhatsApp, and just look at it and see if you can guess how to come up with a rate card on your own. That's all right. But I said investment is very important, and you can go through this 1 hour video and to help you in coming up with a rate card. But let me just tell you a little bit about what a rate card is. A rate card is a document that shows your services, how much you charge for your services, and just basically that's it. Your services and how much you charge for it. It sounds very simple, looks very simple, but it can change your design life. Before I had a rate card, I was charging 15, 20K. When I started, the first rate card I sent to a client, the person paid me 50K. And from there, I'd never charged anything lower. From there, I went from 50K to 70K to 100K to 250K, and people have been paying because it's a rate card. A rate card makes you look more official, and there's a way you can structure it in a way that when people look at it, it becomes attractive. Remember, I told you one of the things the client is going to ask is, how good is your price? Now, a lot of people say, someone said, what's different between invoice and rate card? Oh, invoice is very different from rate card. And an invoice is basically when you've agreed on what you want to do. A rate card is when someone even calls you and asks you, how much do you charge? Just ask you, how much do you charge for doing this? That's what a rate card is. It takes them through, it's like a tour you give them through your company and what you do and how proficient you are. So it's very different from an invoice. An invoice is already, you settled with this. And that's why we kind of misuse some things. An invoice is, I want to do a logo. Right? This is how much a logo is. Take. You understand? That's what an invoice is. But a rate card is very different from that. So you would kind of lost my train of thought there. So I said one of the things a client will ask you is, how good is your price? Now, a lot of people think when a client is asking how good is your price, they're saying how low is your price. No. The fact that you're charging low doesn't mean it's attractive to clients. Very important. The fact that you're charging low doesn't mean you're attracting clients. In fact, some clients are turned off by the fact that you are charging low. The fact that you're charging high doesn't mean you're attracting clients, because some people are really turned off by something being too high. That's where the problem of pricing starts. Pricing works when you are authentic. And that's one of the things I talk about in the video, how to come up with your own price. The mistake a lot of people make is that they ask me, sir, how much do you charge for logo design? I tell them, okay, I charge 70K. And some people say, okay, you know what, Mr. Tola charges 70K. So that means that Mr. Tola has been working for 16 years. I've been working for 8 years. So I should be charging 35K, 35K. They try charging 35K, nobody pays them. Because their price is not authentic. Their price is a poor reflection of me. Your price must be authentic. It must be for you. So for you to know that price that is authentic, there's a way of coming up with a price that is authentic, that is your price. You understand? There's questions you ask yourself that make you come up with your price. Now, so it's not about being too high. It's not about being too low. It's about coming up with a price that is authentic. You know how people are attracted to people that are themselves? When you realize that some people, they can't speak English that well, their tenses are not good, but just attract people because they're just themselves. People just love them because, look, this guy is just himself. People love when you're authentic. But when you're a copy of someone, people just feel like if they can smell it that you're a copy. You understand? So it's important for you to be authentic with your pricing. And that's how you can make your pricing very attractive. So having a rate card is important. You must present your rate card as a company. One thing a rate card does is that it allows you to look like a company. It allows you to look intentional as opposed to speaking off the top of your head. And that makes clients feel comfortable. So your pricing must be attractive. And that is why you must have a rate card. But before you have a rate card, you must have a price that is your price. Very important. You must have a price that is your price, that's authentic for you. A lot of people make that mistake using other people's prices. The truth of the matter is, I have people that have been designing for lesser time than I have. I've been designing for 16 years. Some people have been designing for only 6 years, and they are charging way more than I am, and they are getting paid. Some people are not as good as I am. Technically, their work is not as good, and they are charging more than I'm charging, and they are getting paid. Some people are better than me by far when it comes to technical skills, but I'm charging way more than them. You understand? So it's not about those things. It's about being authentic. So how do you know your authentic price? How do you get to know what price is right for you as a company? And then when you're able to fix that, you can now fix that into your rate card and structure it in the way that when a client sees your rate card, they say, I want to work with you. That's what the rate card does. An invoice doesn't do that. A rate card a rate card takes it to a level whereby someone will come and say, you know what, Tola, I want to do a logo. And you tell them, you know what, sir, let me send you my rate card. And they say, okay, send me your rate card, no problem. By the time they see your rate card, they tell you, you know what, you doing a logo with you is just 100K. But on your rate card, you have a package for 350K. I want to go for that 350K package. That's what a rate card does. It scales up the project. And there are so many people that have approached me saying, I want to do just a logo. By the time I send them my rate card, they look at my rate card, they say, you know what, I'm not doing just a logo anymore. I want to do something that is way more than this. And that's how I'm able to scale up a project without having to oversell to a client. And that's what the rate card does for you. So one of the things I do with this video that I'm going to be putting out is once you register, I'll send you 2 samples of rate cards that you can always refer to while you watch the video and to really help you if you're ready to invest. The problem I have with designers, they're not ready to invest. So they're always going to be asking the same questions over and over and over again. Can I get big clients? How do I get big clients? How do I get paid more? How can I get people to stop paying me 10K? How can I get clients to stop owing me money? Invest. You understand? Don't be greedy. Don't expect to get a lot and you put in very little. Now, the second part of your no, a rate card should not be permanent, and that's part of what I talked about in the video too. We talked about that in the video. It's a 1 hour video, and I can authoritatively going to say it's the best pricing video you're going to watch. The second part is how good is your personality? How good is your personality? Now, a lot of designers fail woefully in this part. I've met designers that have done well with their portfolio. I've met designers that have done well in their pricing. I've very rarely met designers that have done well with their personality. It's the biggest area where designers fail. And it's one of the areas that I touch in premium mentoring. And that's why in the first few months of premium mentoring, I cover this portfolio and pricing very easily. But the personality thing is what keeps the relationship very long with the people I mentor, because it takes time to build a good personality. And it's a very, very important part of positioning yourself and selling yourself as a creative. A lot of designers ignore this part, and it's quite unfortunate. It's the icing on the cake. It's the cement that keeps the bricks together. You understand? It's the cement, that personality. And it's I can understand, because I was like that. And when I say personality, I don't mean you are a jerk. I don't mean you have a bad personality. I don't mean you are rude or insensitive or stuff like that. But a lot of designers have an introverted personality. We are introverts. We do not go out a lot. We are shy of people. We find it hard to meet people. And our work doesn't help us, because our work helps us to hide behind our laptop, our computer, and we don't go out. One of my mentoring guys know this. I always ask them, when last did you go out? When did you go out? When last did you go out? Oh, Toby Killer and Co is one of my mentors, is one of the guys I mentored. And I asked them, when did you go out? Did you? And there's something I asked them to do, an exercise I asked them to do, which is, I say, you know what, go out and meet 3 people today. 3 people that you've never met before on your road. Just strike a conversation. Tell them about what you do. Tell them who you are. And if you can get their phone number, get their phone number. You understand? Because one key thing that shows that you have a good personality that clients are looking for is that you must be a good communicator. You must be an absolutely good communicator. Very important. Communication is the basis of design. The more you can communicate, the more you can design. You realize that people that communicate well get more clients than people that don't communicate. And I tell people this, that clients don't work with the best designers. Clients work with the best designers they know. I'll say that again. I want you to remember this. Is there anything you remember? Clients don't work with the best designers. Clients work with the best designers they know. Now, one issue designers have is that they weigh themselves too much against other designers. So I've had people say, I've not started my business because there are people like Mr. Tola there. Look at his work, look at my work. I mean, I want to present my work. You understand? When there are people like Mr. Tola that are already doing really great work, I'm still a baby. And one thing they don't know is that there are some people in their circle that will never know me. They will never meet me. Never. Our paths will never cross. So they will never know how good I am, how skilled I am. They will never know. But they know you. The only thing you need to do is be that best designer that they know. That's all. My audience is different from your audience. You understand? So I tell people, it's not about being as good as I am. It's not about me being as good as somebody else. I just must be the best person that the people that know me know. Because clients don't work with the best designers. They work with the best designers they know. So if the best designer they know is the guy that just started designing 2 weeks ago, for them, that's the best designer. They work with him. They manage him like that. Do you understand? That's how it is. When I traveled to Canada, something happened. I saw a lot of companies, a lot of them food companies, that made me feel like if I'd not experienced food before. Like now, if you've never left Nigeria, the best pizza you've probably eaten is a pizza by a Nigerian company, maybe Domino's Pizza. But the day you travel out and you eat pizza from Pizza Hut, you realize that you've never eaten pizza before. You understand? That's the truth. The truth is that Domino's Pizza is the best pizza because that's what you know. You can't know more than what you know. You understand? What your mind knows. You can't know how Pizza Hut tastes unless you eat pizza from Pizza Hut. So Domino's Pizza will always enjoy your money. You always enjoy. And places that don't have Domino's Pizza will enjoy the pizza from the guy that just does average pizza, that on world standard, not really good pizza. But because that's who they know, he's the best pizza they know. So there's no need of that guy saying, look, there's Domino's Pizza. I'm not on their level, man. Let me not just start this pizza company. Start it. Because that pizza company is the best someone knows. And he's going to pay value for that. So you would enjoy that person's money. You understand? So don't get intimidated by other designers. Don't get intimidated by other designers. Put your work out there. And that's me talking about confidence there. That's more about confidence, but not even about communication. Let me come back to communication. You must be a communicator. Very important. And this is where investment comes in too. You must invest. I'll tell you something. This week, I have 5 speaking appointments. This is the first of the week. I have 1 tomorrow. I have 1 on Wednesday. I have 2 on Friday. Now, I was telling my wife this. Why are these people calling me to speak? Because they enjoy me speaking. People say, oh, Tola, you're speaking sense. You're dropping nuggets of wisdom. Not because when I was born, my brain was glowing from my mother's stomach. No, it was just because I invested in communication and learning. I invest a lot in books. I'm looking at a set of books right now. They are not design books, all of them. There's a book called Start With Why. There's one called 80/20 Principle. There's another one called Traction. There's one called The Magic of Thinking Big. There's one called The Secrets of Influential People. There's one called Mastery. There's one called David and Goliath. There's one called Habits. There's one called Why A Students Work for C Students. There are so many. I bought all these books. Investment. That's why when I talk, you want to listen. And that's why these 5 people are calling me to talk. It's not magic. You see, if I sat in my room, I just wish people should call me to come and talk to them. People just call me. You understand? I want to be talking too. And I don't invest in it. I don't buy books. I don't buy material. Then I can't communicate. There's no way anybody will call me because I've not invested. That's me being greedy. I want to get a lot, but not put in enough. That's greed. I did something. I tell people that investment is very key. I paid for a course by John C. Maxwell. I don't know how many you know John C. Maxwell. This course is costing almost 200,000 naira for 10 classes. 200,000 naira, 10 classes. And it's a course on communication. And I've been doing it. I paid 200,000 naira for it. I could have spent that 200,000 naira on any other thing. You understand? But I spent it on this. It's an investment. Now, I do a course for 200,000 naira by John C. Maxwell, who is #1 leadership trainer in the world. I could have gone to Fela Durute, but I said, no, I'm not going. Fela Durute's zone is 50,000. You understand? But I'm going to the best in the world because I want to learn from him. So I'm skipping that 50,000. I'm going to the 200,000 guy. Now, he's going to teach. He's teaching me about communication. Now, do you think you can compete with me when it comes to convincing a client about a design job? You can't. There's no way. There's no way you are pitching for a job and I am pitching for a job too, and you've invested zero, and I have learned from the best person in the world, and I go and pitch for that job and I communicate. You can't communicate on the same level with me. It's not just possible. It's not magic. It's just I've invested more. You understand? I know more secrets about communication than you do. I've invested more. It's 200K. You understand? So it's investment. And what I learn, I transfer it to the guys I'm mentoring. I teach them this particular thing. I teach them because they need to know too. So when you are competing, you can't compete with my mentoring guys. There's no way. You understand? Because what I'm learning, I'm pointing into them too because they've invested. There's a guy on this group right now, Jay Jafar. He's my guy. You understand? He enrolled for my mentoring course this year in March. He has made more money from me than what he paid me in mentoring. You understand what I'm saying? And he has brought a lot of value. You understand? That's how it should be. That's how it should be. You understand? So you must invest. You must invest. If you want to be a good communicator, invest in communication classes. Read books about communication. That's why when I tell people, I do only one logo design for clients. Only one. Only one. Just one. I don't do 5 options, 2 options, 3 options. I don't do that. I don't do options. In fact, when I work with my guys, I always tell them, let's just narrow it down to one. Let's just do one. You understand? And show this client the best one. Let's sell it. The last time I did multiple logo designs for a client was many years ago. I do just one. And a lot of designers look at me and think it's magic and performing. No, it's because I'm a good communicator. When I do that one, I can convince you about that one. And you will take it. I tell my wife this. My wife will say, just this thing you've typed, will the client accept this thing? I tell my wife, you know what, when the client accepts it, I will come and tell you. And I come and say, look at this guy's emails. It's telling me he loves it. So my wife just sees this and just says, they will pay for this thing. I said, they will pay for it. They won't just pay, they will pay a premium for it. You understand? Because I'm a communicator. But I might have had communication talent, but I've been able to hone it and make it better to the extent that I'm so sure the client cannot tell me no. It's going to be hard. I was talking with J Creatives, and there was a job we were working on together, and the client at a point was told us that he didn't like the logo. And I had seen the logo. I said, this logo is good because J Creatives had done a wonderful work on that logo. And I told him this work is good. And I presented to the client, and the client says, I don't like it. I don't like it. It's too mellow. And I said, what do you mean by mellow? Can you define that word mellow? And he said, I don't know. He said, he was just he was not saying anything. And this is where confidence comes in. You must be able to communicate confidently. And I said, okay, this guy wants to waste. At the point in time, I was saying we should add some things. And I was beginning to lose my confidence. And I was telling Jay, my guy, that he should add what this client is doing. We should do what this client is doing. And I realized that this work is good. Why is this guy, who is a non-designer, telling us how to design? And I went back to him and I told him, look, do you know what? In our company, we are more our direction is more towards building a strong portfolio, a world-class portfolio. We're not really interested in your money. I'm not interested in money right now. I've been designing for 16 years. It's not about money. It's about building a world-class portfolio. So we need to work with companies that look world-class. Whatever we put in our portfolio at this point must look world-class. If we do any of these things that you're asking us to do to this logo, it wouldn't look world-class and won't be put in our portfolio, and it's not worth our time working on it. So do you know what? If you really want us to put all these things in this logo, then I would have to call it quits and say, we are walking away. We give you back your money. And he called me back and he said, you know what? I like the logo. It's okay. You understand? And he likes the logo right now. He's loving the logo right now. Something was like, I don't like, it looks too mellow. It's how you communicate. You must communicate confidently. Very important that you are a good communicator. So when I say personality, a lot of people might think it might be a personality of always sucking up to the clients. No, it's not about sucking up to the clients. So clients don't even like it when you're always, yes, sir, yes, ma, yes, sir, yes, ma. Change this color, yes, ma. Change this font, yes, ma. Change orientation, yes, sir. They don't like it. It doesn't make them confident about you. They like when they say, change this, and you ask them, why? Why should I change it? Can you explain to me why? And they say, change this, because I just like it. And they say, no, it's beyond you just liking it. We took a lot of time and thought into this, and this is why we did it. Do you understand? You must be able to educate the client. They like it when you are confident in communicating your ideas. But you can't be confident in communicating your ideas if you've not learned about communication. You understand? So you need to invest in communication. So it comes about in your personality your personality is one of a good communicator. So it's very important. This is something designers shy away from. Communicating. You must communicate. You must put yourself out there. You must tell people about what you do consistently. You must consistently tell your clients about what you do. Your potential clients, consistently tell them. And this is where I see that designers kind of miss it. So when someone tells me, I've not done a job in 2 months, clients are not coming. I said, no, clients are not coming. You are not putting yourself out there enough. There's someone that needs a flyer right now. Someone that needs a brochure design. Someone needs a website. Someone in your circle needs a logo. But they are forgetting about you because you're not putting yourself out there enough. So we have this mentality of putting our work out there. 1 week, stay, go away for another 2 weeks. Another 1 week, I do logos, go away for 1 month. Come again 2 months later, I do logos. No. You must be consistent in putting your stuff out there as much as possible. You must be consistent in putting your stuff out there so that they never ever forget about you. Never. The reason why I call myself the logo king is not to intimidate designers. I really don't care if people consider me the logo king or not. I really, really don't care. I don't care if someone on this group starts calling themselves. I don't care if you have 50 logo kings. It doesn't matter. What I want it to be, I want to have a name that my clients can see and always remember. So that when they think logos, they think Tola, because it's part of my name. They think. So I thought, what name can tell people that I do logos and I'm good at it, and I can put it there consistently. So that when anybody says, do you know any logo person? It's me they think of. Whether I know they can afford me or not, let them think of me and let me direct them to who they can afford. Or let me short circuit that place in their brain that thinks about me. So you must put yourself out there consistently. There's a guy who I'm mentoring at the moment, and he inspires me about consistency. I don't know if he's here on this platform. His name is Victor, Victor Efe. He's super consistent with his brand. Super consistent with his brand. Since we started the mentoring and kicked it off, and he has been super consistent. He puts his brand out there every day. It doesn't mind if he's repeating the same thing. He puts it out there. I see it. I can see the excitement. Yeah, Victor is here. You see, he's super consistent. And I was just telling him yesterday that I love what you're doing. I absolutely love what you're doing, and you will reap the reward of it. Because at a point, people will just remember that I need to work with this design company. A lot of designers are not consistent enough. You need to be consistent, consistently put it out there. This is what I do. This is what I do. People say, should I be repeating my logos? Repeat it. By all means, repeat it. Repeat it. If you've done something really good, repeat it. It's very, very important. When you're consistent, you stick in people's minds. And for sure, somebody in your circle needs your service. That's just the truth. So those are the three areas in which you need to handle when it comes to positioning yourself or selling yourself as a designer. Remember, what do the clients want? What questions are they asking themselves? How good is your work? Number one, check out your portfolio. Your portfolio is key. Your work must be good. Invest in classes, invest in design books, invest in portfolio reviews. Like right now, there's a portfolio reviews, the Masterclass Academy on Friday. Free. You can come, bring your portfolio, let's review it. Let someone tell you whether your work is good or not. That is free. You understand? Invest in buying fonts. You understand? Very important. Next thing, pricing. Invest in your pricing too. Know how to come up with a rate card. I said I have a video, a 1 hour video. If you want to learn about pricing, learn about rate cards, contact me on WhatsApp. I'll send you what the price is and the link, and I'll send you sample of rate cards. And I'm telling you, it will change your life. It changed my own life. It will change your business. Seriously. Personality, very important. Don't just read design books. Read books about personality. Read books about the mind. People on my mentoring platform know. I always send them, read this book, read that book. It's important. You understand? Because it's not just about being a designer. One interesting thing about being a good communicator is you must be able to talk about anything. You must be able to talk about, I'll share my contact number after this. You must be able to talk about anything. I can talk about anything with anybody because I'm interested in everything. So if you want to talk about religion, I can talk about religion. You want to talk about sports, I can talk about sports. If you want to talk about cartoons, I can talk about cartoons. Whenever my kids are watching cartoons, that's the difference between me and my wife. My wife always tells them, you guys are watching a cartoon, change channel, let's watch something else. I hardly tell them change channel unless I want to watch a football match or something. But I watch it with them and I ask them, what's this cartoon called? They will tell me, who is this person? What's the name of this character? They will tell me. And I'm learning. So when I meet a client and I'm talking with the client, and maybe their kid walks in and is holding a stuffed animal of a character I know, I tell the kid, oh, this person. And then, yeah, I know. And the client is happy that, look, this guy knows about this stuff. This guy must be a family guy. You understand? It endears them to me. So you must be able to be vast in your knowledge. It helps you to be a good communicator. So if you're able to check these three things when it comes to positioning yourself as a creative, you realize that you have few problems with setting up yourself as a creative to start with and having clients in the long run. So I hope that you've gotten some value from this class, and I hope it is something you can apply to yourself. But it is one thing I'm going to take away from this class is the need to invest. So I guess that's about it for now. I don't know. I think I must have used past the stipulated time because it's 1.5 hours. But I hope you've all had fun and you've enjoyed listening to this. Okay, some people are asking for my number. All right, yeah, because they're saying my number. I don't know if I want to type it out, but it's 080-232-66249. So someone can type it out, 080-232-66249. Yeah, that's my number. So you can always send me a message on WhatsApp, and I'll be glad to answer any of your design questions and talk to you, give you advice where you need advice. Yeah, thank you. So that's
Thank you so much, Mr. Tola. Sorry, I wasn't there to introduce you earlier. I had
fine.
something to fix in the office, so I joined 20 minutes after. Thank you so much for making our time to be with us this evening. And we don't take that for granted. I've followed you for a while, and if there's any other thing I've learned is um, uh, the virtue of humility, and it's challenged me a lot. And every other thing, design and consistency, and you're being able to carry everybody along. We're so grateful. We are so grateful. I know everyone in this group is also, as grateful as myself. And we are committed to. I personally am committed to seeing that I grow, even if for anything, at least to give back value of the time you have given to us today to someone else. I know it's not just about us that is in this group today. I know this value is going to go beyond here. So thank you so much, and we are so grateful. We are so grateful. I'm so grateful. I am my team are so grateful to have you.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to give you that'll be later.
Yeah.
So please, if there's any question, we can ask. We're already out of time. So
yeah, some people are asking
1 or 2 questions.
Yeah, I saw someone asking, how can you join my WhatsApp group? Well, my WhatsApp group is basically for the people that have gone through my mentoring program. So it's called Premium Club. I think we are 10 on it so far. So if you sign up for my mentoring program, you can join my WhatsApp group. But if you're not on my WhatsApp group, you can always contact me on WhatsApp if you want to. But I share resources with people on my WhatsApp group, and yeah, so you have to be a part of my mentoring program. Someone's asking a question here. Let me try to see that question. Sorry. The question about working in a print firm. Okay. Chats. Someone says, I want to ask, I'm currently working with a firm, print firm to be precise. Okay, so what's the problem? It says, I yearn to learn and grow my business, but what I'm learning is not in alignment with what I do at the print firm. Okay, so you're working at the print firm at the moment, and they're not doing what aligns with you. Now, what do you want to do? What is it that you want to learn? If it's not aligning, then my advice is you might just have to, you should leave that place. If you have the courage to leave, you should leave to do, because it's almost like wasting your time. You want to learn printing as well, but which one is more important to you? Learning printing or learning what it is that you are not aligning with? You have to choose one. So it might be you giving yourself a timeline and just saying that, you know what, I'm going to give 2 years to learning printing, and after 2 years I'm going to leave. That is why you need a mentor. You need a mentor that is going to hold you accountable and say, what's that your name again? Is it Debola out there? And ask you, look, you say you're going to leave in June. Don't forget you're going to leave in June. Don't forget you need someone, or else you're going to stay there. Yes, Adekunle, you're going to stay there longer than you want to. So you have a timeline. You understand? Have a timeline and say, you know what, I want to learn about other things. I want to learn about print for 1 year or 2 years or stuff, and have an accountability partner. A mentor is good because a mentor has some authority and can tell you, look, it's time for you to leave. You understand? And when you have someone you're accountable to, it's most probably you will follow through. Because as I said, I worked in a place for 1 year where I was a web designer, and I said I was going to leave after 1 year, and I think I spent 18 months. You understand? So I spent 6 months more than I should have spent there, but I had a time limit and I left. You understand? So take control of your life. You understand? More questions. Let me see. How can I join the premium club? Yeah, you have to do the premium mentoring program. If you're interested in that, contact me on WhatsApp. I'll let you know how you can join. There was a question I saw right now. Yeah, can I put my business name as my name? Which is better, presenting myself as an individual, which means I am a specialist, or as an agency, though I have no intention of hiring more hands? Look, never present yourself as an individual. It doesn't matter whether it's your business name. My business name is Tola Alabi Design Limited. You understand? And when I talk to people, and for a long time, I operated as one guy. But there are a lot of people that thought I had like 6 designers working with me, which was not real. That shows that I gave them the right impression. Everything I told them, we do this, we don't do this, we is our company policy. Never make it seem like if you're so it doesn't matter whether it's your name. Although how you name your business is important, you understand. So there's a way you can name your business that sounds like you are the founder and it's a design business. But like I had that with one of the guys I'm mentoring. He kind of named his business in a way that sounds like a solo guy, and I said we need to change that. You understand? So never present yourself as an individual, especially in Nigeria. Nigerians have no regard for the individual. They have absolute respect for the establishment. Absolute. You understand? So if you can be an individual in the US, because in the US they have so much regard for the individual and absolutely no regard for the establishment. That's why they can drag McDonald's if they mess up. And if one person is shot on the street in the US, they'll follow it up. But one person is shot in Nigeria, you probably won't know the name, and people just move on their life. You understand? But if the MD of a company is affected, you see that people will pay attention. Newspaper will carry it. It just shows that Nigerians have more regard for establishment than we do for individuals. So by no means should you present yourself as an individual.